Hello, everyone. Oftentimes, meditation is simply about shutting up. So, not all meditations involve this, but most do. Most do in regards to the meditation that I'm talking about. The meditations involving quieting the mind, just carrying out all that baggage and putting it in the right place. So, the mind is oftentimes like that conveyor belt in the airport that just goes in a circle after whoever does this and however they do it. I imagine just by putting it on the conveyor belt. But in the back, they'll put on the conveyor belt and then you wait for your luggage to come around. So the mind, oftentimes, the mind's like that conveyor belt, but nobody's picking up the luggage. So it gets cramped, it gets full, it gets slow, and there's so much luggage on that conveyor belt, it's stuttering along and nothing's being picked up. Now, meditation, the kind that I'm talking about, it's basically you coming and retrieving the baggage, perhaps different parts of yourself, and carrying it where it needs to go. Because the mind itself, it gets very cluttered with a lot of things that we're thinking about, just going around in a circle and just gets more and more cluttered. And the mind, as we go throughout our day, it seems very circular. We tend to have a routine, and the mind picks up on that basically. But we also have a routine of thinking. And when I say the mind, we oftentimes associate ourselves with the mind, but we're something behind it, kind of a step behind it, or maybe more steps. But the mind gets all of these thoughts that we habitually think, and based on the tasks that we do, or based on simply our thinking patterns, our reactions, our emotions, they all get put onto this conveyor belt that goes around in a circle, and that is the mind. There's a lot of things that get stuck on that conveyor belt of the mind that we're not really aware of. We think that the mind, if we just think hard enough, we can work things out. That's not always the case. Sometimes we need to quiet everything down so that we can actually get the work done. Now, the work is very interesting when it comes to meditation because the work, in essence, is not thinking at all, not doing anything. And not doing anything sounds easy. It's like, okay, just don't do anything or just don't think. But not thinking is really hard. But that state of no mind refreshes us. It lets us encounter the world in a whole new way. And it's kind of like taking a shower. You're refreshed. Your mind is more clear. It functions better when you meditate. It becomes less of something that is a system of reactions and thoughts that we think all the time, whether it be depressed thoughts, angry thoughts, happy thoughts. All these things can get cluttered. But when we meditate, the mind becomes more of an orderly environment for us to exist in, and we exist in the mind. We are not the mind, though. It's very important to realize. And the best kind of order is brought about through silencing all activity, because the mind becomes jittery. Our reactions become slower as we react to everything around us again and again and again, mentally, not necessarily physically, but mentally. And all these reactions are happening all the time and all at once, and it becomes rather twitchy. That's why maintenance of the mind can be achieved through meditation. Meditation isn't the only thing to be done for the maintenance of the mind, but just shutting up in meditation really allows it to function more smoothly. I have OCD, I'm schizophrenic, I have a very hyperactive mind. I remember putting on a Muse headband. I used to meditate with one of these headbands, and my thoughts basically were like this. They weren't wide ranging as far as mood necessarily, but they're very quick. My mind operates very quickly, even with medication. So to stabilize that and to not have such jitteriness, it's good to just calm down the mind, allow it to ease back into its natural state of not reacting to everything, not thinking things harmfully to our mind that we really wouldn't usually think of as being harmful. But when we have a reaction inwardly, when we're just like, ugh, that person's just awful, or why did they say that? Oh, that makes me sad. I wonder what's going to happen tomorrow. I wonder where I'm going right now. Why am I so lost? All these things get cluttered. And meditation is just about unpacking those things, because the mind, it can be hell, can't it? When we don't really have control of it, when we don't have control over our thoughts, when our emotions are tied purely to the mind's thoughts, that if we don't gain control of, then we just become more animalistic in thinking, more animalistic in kind of thought patterns. But meditation helps us feel more human. It helps us be more human and be able to reach a level of intelligence only through calmness. Intelligence, there's many kinds of intelligence, but intelligence gained from meditation is being able to sort things out, allowing that conveyor belt to operate more smoothly. Now, the conveyor belt's not going to stop. You're still going to think things all the time, even when, let's say that you can quiet your mind during meditation. You're still going to have a bunch of thoughts throughout the day, but ordering that and making it make more sense for us and being a more hospitable place for us to exist in the mind is the point of meditative calmness. And it really is just about shutting up. And shutting up makes everything better, as long as you have those little periods of shutting up. Anyway, this has just been my brief little video about my thoughts about, meditation and how shutting up really helps the mind and how it helps us function better. I hope you all enjoyed this little video. I have a lot of plans for the channel coming up, and I think y'all are really going to like them. At any rate, thank you very much for watching, and I hope all of you have a wonderful day.